Hi, I'm Liz with Liz Toth Properties, powered by eXp Realty. I'm a residential real estate agent in Raleigh, North Carolina. Today is your real estate market update. We're in the first few days of June. I hope you're having a great year. We have data through April, and we'll take a look at that. We'll look at what's gone on historically. We have early numbers for the month of May, which is exciting, but they're not final, so just know that. We'll look at what's going on in the real estate market today and then finish up with mortgage rates, the Fed, and what's going on in the economy. So I'm going to share my screen and we will get right into it. So I'm going to start with a little bit of a different screen. This is for the entire Triangle region in our MLS, and I just wanted to focus over here in the year-to-date column. I know you hear a lot of things on the news about what's going on in real estate. Remember, a lot of the stuff you see on the news is national. Real estate is really local, and our market continues to be a very hot real estate market. It is still a seller's market in our area as well. So wanted to run through the numbers year to date. You can see new listings in the Triangle are up almost 19%. That's great news. We still have very low inventory levels. We're in the spring market, March, April, May are really our spring market. We have more buyers in the market at this time. So that's great to have more new listings available for all those buyers that are out in the market today. What's gone on with closed sales, and you'll hear this nationally, the closed sales are down. They're down as well in the entire Triangle region, but not much. We're actually catching up. You can see in April, they were actually up 5%. So we're making it up right here. So under a 2% decline in year-to-date closed sales, again, when you're looking at that entire Triangle region. Because we've had low inventory levels, the pressure has maintained on pricing. So when you look at the median sales price and the average sales price year to date, you can see both of those are up. We just don't have enough homes available for all the buyers in the market. We do still see homes get multiple offers as well. Year to date, we've seen our days supply drop quite a bit. So last year it was around 48 days. Now it's like almost 3 weeks homes are staying on the market before they sell. So what I would tell someone who is a buyer in this particular market, have a sense of urgency. If you see a home come on the market that you like, don't wait. Contact an agent, contact me if you don't have one, and get out and take a look at it so that you don't miss out on that opportunity. So that's just giving you a year-to-date snapshot of what's gone on in April of this year through April of this year versus April of last year, and that's for the entire Triangle region. We'll go over into the trend line here. I'm going to get rid of the entire Triangle MLS. We'll just look at Raleigh, Cary, and Durham today. And initial numbers for May show that when we look at the average sales price, the initial numbers for May are showing that Raleigh has seen an increase, Durham has seen an increase, Cary's off about 2.3%, but Cary has a very high average sales price, $717,000, and you can see they have been seeing a huge increase since February in the average sales price. So it'll be interesting to see when we get final numbers for May if it is just still showing a decline in the average sales price. But when you look at April 2024 versus April 2023 in all three of these cities, the average sales price is up in every single one. I mentioned we have low inventory levels. You can see it's trending up a little bit, which again, great news for the buyers out there. There's a little bit more inventory available for sale, but a 1.3 month supply or in a 2-month supply in the area, it's really not a lot of inventory available for sale. To put it in perspective, a balanced and normal market is a 6-month supply. I do always like to show the 10-year trend. So that you can see it's been a very long time since the Triangle has had more than a couple months supply of homes available for sale. We're looking back in 2014 here. So interesting to look at it from this perspective. The real estate market in the Triangle has been hot for some time. When we look at days on market, we just talked about that. I mentioned earlier this year, if you've looked at any of my other videos, that usually like January, we'll have a higher days on market. But then once you get into February, March, April, you see the days on market come down significantly because more buyers are coming into the market in the springtime. Homes are getting snapped up pretty quickly. When we talked about closed sales, we'll look at homes available for sale. So when we look at this snapshot, homes available for sale in both Raleigh and Cary were up compared to May of last year. And again, these are the initial numbers. Durham is showing to have a decline. It'll be interesting to see what happens when we get our final numbers. But you can see it's been relatively flat ever since December. We did see a little bit of an increase from March to April, mainly because March, April, May are really the hottest real estate months. Like that's our spring market. That's the hottest time to put your home on the market. We see our market trend up, and then usually after May, it slows down a little bit, trends down. So we're seeing that same trend. Maybe we have seen an reintroduction of seasonality, which we saw that last year. So I anticipate the the summer market being strong as well. And then we'll probably see that normal seasonality going into the fall and winter months that we started to see again last year. And seasonality is a good thing. It indicates a return to some sense of normalcy in the real estate market. When we look at new listings available for sale, you can see again, we see that same trend that we typically see in the springtime, new listings coming on the market. So that's great news for the buyers that are in the market today. If you're a seller, it's not, it's obviously a great time to list in the spring. I say in the Triangle, it's a great time, anytime to list your home because we don't have a lot of inventory available for sale. That when you go on the market in the spring month, you're in the spring market, if you're listing your home, then you'll have a little bit more competition. But again, in our area, we don't have enough inventory available for sale to start with. So it's not like you're going to have a ridiculous amount of competition. And the biggest competition you're going to see in some areas today is new construction, because we do see a lot more building going on in the area. So that just shows you a trend of what's been going on in the real estate market over the last couple months. You get a little snapshot of what the initial numbers are for the month of May. I'm going to go into what is going on in the real estate market today in Raleigh, Cary, and Durham. And when we look at what is active and coming soon on the market today, just over 1,800 homes available for sale. This includes new construction and resale homes. If we narrow down to just new construction, you can see out of that 1,800 homes, about 570 are new construction. So and these are sometimes pre-sale homes that are listed. So a builder will list a home. They'll put the base price of the home. They may have a lot in there, but then the buyer can come along and pick the design and maybe the structural options. Some of them are going to be inventory homes or quick move-in homes. This is where everything has been picked. And the price you see in the MLS then, if it is an inventory home, is typically the final price that you would pay to purchase that home. So we're seeing more inventory homes come on the market, which is great news. I've been watching new construction ever since the supply chain issues really eased. And in this area, I drive all over the place, all over the Triangle to meet with clients and show homes and things like that. And there's new construction communities just popping up all over the place. So if you're a buyer in the market, definitely take a look at new construction. There are more and more opportunities in that area every day. When we look at what is under contract, just over 2,000 homes currently under contract. This includes resale, new construction. If we narrow down to new construction, 720 homes that are currently under contract are new construction homes. And then initial numbers for May for Raleigh, Cary, and Durham, 1,172 closed sales. And so this is going to be just behind what our pace was last year. So last year in May, we sold 1,223. So just behind last year's sales pace. But again, these are not all the final numbers just yet. As soon as we get those, we will get those out to you. So that's what's going on in the real estate market today. I wanted to finish up with some slides, talk a little bit about mortgage rates. I know this is on everybody's radar right now. You hear about it on the news media all the time, what's going on with rates. Clients are asking me. A lot of people are talking about this today. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So I love this quote from the senior economist at Zillow. The biggest thing when we're looking at mortgage rates right now is volatility. So one of the things about mortgage rates is they're not set by the feds, but they're influenced by whatever the feds do. And then the feds are influenced by what's going on in the economy, job creation, and inflation. So when we talk about mortgage rates, there's definitely been a lot of volatility in this area. And you can see that here in this chart. This goes back to October 2023. You can see what's happened with the daily mortgage rate, according to Mortgage Daily News. So here we are over here in May. We're actually in June now. And as of today, I looked it up, the 30-year fixed is around 7.11. And again, that's according to Mortgage Daily News, which is a great resource if you're looking to check rates here and there, if you're looking for a home. So the daily mortgage rate shows, obviously there's been a lot of volatility over the last several months. The feds did have a meeting on May 1st. They decided to maintain the target range, and they didn't make any changes. They want to continue to watch. They feel like they need more data. They want to see cooling factors in the economy. So some of the things that they're watching again are inflation. They're watching job creation, unemployment, things like that. They're also going to be influenced, obviously, by what's going on in the global economy as well. So when we look at what's happened with unemployment in April, there were less jobs created. And so the unemployment rate changed a little bit, not very much. We're still below that 50-year average, or going back to 1948 of 5.7. But you can see just a teeny tiny little tick up from March. In March, it was at 3.8, April 3.9. So very little change in the unemployment rate. So they're watching that, obviously. Inflation continues to exceed the target rate. So they want to be at 2%. You can see our inflation went up a little bit into March. We don't have the latest data for April or May just yet, but this is where we're at, and they're watching that on a regular basis. And why is this important to them? Well, they're putting all these restrictions, or like guards, if you will, on the rate, because they want to slow the economy. They want to bring down inflation. That's the number one thing that they're focused on. And that target rate is 2%. And the reason they're being so cautious is because historically, if you go back and you look at what happened during the 1970s, inflation went way up. The Feds put a lot of parameters in place. They tried to really slow things down in the economy and bring down inflation. And they did, and they were successful, as you can see, because it went down here and it went to below 6%, and then kind of lifted the restrictions, if you will, or kind of loosened that policy, and they saw inflation shoot right back up. So they don't want to repeat that. So you can see where we are today. So we're seeing it come down. They're hesitant without more data to do a lot of changes, because they just don't want to see the inflation rate go back up again. So, if they did do that, it could reverse the progress that we have made, as you can see in this chart under today, as to what's happened with the inflation rate. So that being said, all this information, the Feds want to continue to watch and monitor the data before they make any major changes. At this point, they're maintaining. But with all that said, experts are still projecting that rates are going to come down. They're just not going to come down as far, and they're not going to come down as fast as originally projected at the beginning of the year. So Bright MLS says we, expect rates to come down in the second half of 2024, but they are going to remain above 6%. And this is so true. And I see this in my business, when rates, I saw this last year when we started to see rates come down. Even a modest drop in rates are going to bring more buyers and sellers really into the market, because what you have in a lot of cases is that folks are hanging on to, the 2 and 3 and 4% interest rates. They're not going to move to go up to 7.1 or 7.5 interest rate, or they might not be able to afford to. So there are people that have had major life changes. They need to move. They want to move. If rates come down, they're going to be ready to make a move. So you're going to see more sellers come on the market. You'll see more inventory available. You'll have more buyers come into the market as well, because more and more buyers who are out there who are wanting to purchase a home are waiting for the rates to come down. More and more will qualify. So what I tell folks today is, obviously, if you're a seller and you want to sell, you want to make a change, don't wait. Get your home on the market. Start looking for a new place to go, especially if you've had a major life change and you can swing it at the higher rates, because knowing that rates are going to come down in the future, you can always refinance. And if you're a buyer in the market and you're looking to purchase, and if you can swing it at the higher rates, I say go for it. Get in the market today, because you're going to have less competition. The second those rates start coming down, we are going to have more and more buyers. You'll see more and more multiple offer situations, which we already see multiple offer situations with rates over 7%. We're just going to see that become more common. So hopefully that information is helpful for you. If you have questions on the area, don't hesitate to reach out. If you're local here and you want information from your neighborhood, please reach out to me. I'm always happy to provide information. If you're checking out the area, learning more about it, reach out. You can also check out my YouTube channel, Welcome to Raleigh. There's a lot of great videos on there. There's a lot of, it's a great resource. There's community videos, city tours, more information on the real estate market, buyer tips, seller tips. Check it out. You can subscribe, hit the little bell, and get notified anytime a new video is uploaded. I look forward to talking to you again soon, and I hope you have a great day.